Hi, you're watching Professor Plays. This is my Factorio tutorial series built from scratch. Today I want to show you how I create blueprints. So I'm going to go to mods. I think I have all of the blueprints loaded. Let me just verify that. Base mod, you always need that. I use Creative Mod. There are other mods that are similar to Creative Mod. This is the one I started with. I'm going to stick with it. If you're new to creating blueprints, you might want to experiment with the other mods. If you go to install and search for Creative Mod, you'll see references to other mods that do something similar. So Creative Mod, Factorio Library, that's required. Let's see, which one of these other mods requires Factorio Library? I forget which one it is. Anyway, that was Factorio Library. Landfill everything. You can, how do I explain this? You have a blueprint that you've created or that you're holding, and you can put landfill under every component of that blueprint. So what that allows you to do is put the blueprint on water, and when you hold down shift and place the blueprint, it will put a landfill outline for the blueprint. I'll demonstrate that. So that's what landfill everything does. Rate calculator. If you're building a science build, for example, in the editor here, once I get it built, designed, and running, and it's generating science, the rate calculator, you can just drag a box around that portion, around your science build, and it'll tell you the science per minute, for example. So that's very handy. Water fill allows you to put water wherever you want. And then zoom fixed plus republished abandoned mod. I don't know if there's a better one out there or not. This one's a little bit quirky sometimes, but what this does is it lets you zoom out more than you could with the standard game. If you have a very big thing that you want to blueprint, it's handy for that. So that's why I put that in here. I'm going to do a single player new game. Factorio Cat has arrived right on cue. I have gone through and previously configured these the way I want for making blueprints. I put resource sizes to max, richness to max. Terrain, I turn everything off, including water. Enemies turned off. You can leave pollution on or off depending upon what you want to do. If you want to build something and see how the pollution spreads, you can leave it turned on, but I normally turn it off. And then I'm doing a preview. Again, I've already done this, but I like to get a world that's all green because I think that's a better contrast for doing screenshots. So that's the reason I want an all green world. How did I do that? Oh, under terrain. Under terrain, you have moisture and terrain type. You slide those all the way to the right, and then you may need to generate a couple random seeds to get one that's all green. So I did that, and then the resources, I put size to max and richness to max. If you wanted to blueprint mining drill pattern, for example, you'd want that. So that's what I do. I don't think I did anything else different. So then creative mode is going to ask you, what do you want to do? And I say yes with cheats. So this will disable your achievements when you're in this map editor. I create a separate game just for editing blueprints because it does disable achievements. And then when I create blueprints, I'll save it, and then when I go back to my normal game, when you load the game back in, it'll prompt you if you want to keep the mods enabled, and say no, and then you'll be able to continue getting your achievements. So there's these rocks are scattered around. With creative mode, you can just instantly delete things. You don't need to worry about. So these parts of the spaceship, you can instantly delete. Oh, you can't instantly delete those. Okay. You can pick them up instantly with right click. All right, so let's go and look at how to create a blueprint. Go over here. I'm just moving away from everything, so I'm out here away from all the other stuff. So I'm going to press E. This looks the same, except you notice there's an infinity symbol next to everything. So for example, if I want a transport belt, I could left click on there and it would give me some transport belt, but that's all you need. You just hold the transport belt and you can make an infinite amount of transport belt now. You don't need to craft it. It's just there. You always have it. So there's some transport belt. Everything is that way. So let's build a science build. So let's see. I want some assembly machine. Now make sure you pick the machines, or make sure you pick the items that are geared toward the stage of the game that your blueprint is designed for. So let's say it's an early game. Early game science build. That's what I want. Like that. And I'll probably want something on this side like that, and you're going to make logistics science. In fact, I could put inserters in there. So this would go like this, and this would go like this. Like that, and I could put power like that, just as an example, and copy this. And notice when you paste something, it's built instantly. So it's very handy for building. Oh, I need inserters here, don't I? And you power both, yeah, you power both sides. Okay, and then this will be this is science going out, and I'll need resources going in. So you need resources here, and you need resources here. Like that. Okay, now what do we need for resources? So this science needs copper plate and gear. Okay, copper plate and gear. In the creative mod, this is notice I press E, and the normal tabs are at the top. And now there's this new one called Creative Tools. So under Creative Tools, this one here, I clicked on it. There's a bunch of new stuff, right? Now you can put enemies. Notice there's enemies you can place in the map. So if you want to design defenses or weaponry or something, you can test it by placing enemies in the map. But what I want is the item that creates stuff, and it's called matter source. There's matter source and there's fluid source. So if you wanted to create fluids, you can create fluids. So matter source, give me one of those. Notice it has an arrow. Okay, so there's matter source. Just put it on your belt. Now you click on it and you fill in what you want to go onto the belt. And I want to make this science, I want copper plate and gear. So I'm going to click on a matter source and I'm going to say give me a copper plate and give me a gear. And copper plate and gear appear on the belt. And then I can Control C, copy these, give me some power over on this side, like that. One more, like that. Okay. Power in the creative tools, there are power generation items, active energy source. Hi, Factorio cat. That was a big yawn with your hooks in my shoulder. You sleep all day, and as soon as I sit down and start recording, you hop up next to me and start stretching and yawning and putting hooks in my shoulder. Active energy source. You just put this anywhere. I put it normally away from the build, so if I want to do a screenshot, the active energy source does not appear in the screenshot. So you do that, and you can do like a electric pole like that and like that. And it gives it power. And so now it's making science. Science will go on onto this conveyor, and of course it would start stacking up. So there's another creative tool item right here called matter void. This one. So give me one of those. And again, there's an arrow. So matter void does what it sounds like. It makes the matter disappear. So now you can have your science build running It has an infinite supply of parts. It has an infinite place to dump science, and it has an infinite power source. So that's how I work on science. Let's get this one running over here. So you need belt and inserters. I'm just going to do Control C and copy those like that. Oh, you need power. Make sure when you're building that you're building with the stage of the game in mind. So I'm using the small electric poles. I'm using the standard inserter, yellow transport belt, and machines ones. Make sure you're doing the same thing. And then give me one of these. And you need belt and inserter. So belt, and inserter. There's belt and inserter. And just verify that the gears are turning. So I'm making that science. And they're all going to start running. Yes, they are. Okay. So that's how I start, or that's how I design science builds. I start with the actual science item itself, and then I work backwards. We haven't, this would not work in a real game because, where did this stuff come from? So now we have to build these items. We have to build the inserters. We have to build the belts. We have to get the copper plate. We have to get the gears. Well, copper plate, I guess you're getting that from smelting. So let's assume you would have that available, but you don't have gears unless you put them on your bus. But that's what you need to figure out. And you need to make inserters and you need to make belt. But start with this part first. And then with the rate calculator mod, you can figure out what rate this science is being built. So the rate calculator mod is this button right here. It's called rate calculator. I'm pointing at it down at the bottom. So just click on that or do Alt X and just drag across the science build like that. And it tells you the production rate. So it tells you exactly well, it's doing other things too, but it's telling you the production rate. So we're doing 36 science a minute for the red ones and 30 science a minute for the green ones. And it tells you per machine. So if you need more than that, you can add more machines. If you wanted to know what is it with machine 2s, you could make these machine 2s. The rate calculator is using the current build and is telling you the science rate using the current build. So is that fast enough? Do you want it to be bigger or faster? Let's say I wanted 60 a minute. Okay. And I've got 36 for the red science and 30 for the green science. So I need to double the green science if I want 60 a minute. So just do Control C. I want to double this. Oh, I got to move matter void. Let's move matter void down here a little bit. Like that. Control C. Like that. And there's matter void. And I doubled it. And actually, if you wanted to get exactly 60 a minute with these two, you need a different number of machines. This one crafts in 6 seconds, and this one crafts in 5 seconds. So if you wanted to get exactly 60 or 1 per second, you would need different numbers of machines from those two sides. It's up to you. If you want to make it look the same, you would do that. If you wanted to make it do exactly 60, you would do that. It doesn't really matter, I guess. It's only going to consume the science packs as fast as it can consume them. So if you made those the same, if you made these go down here, you'd be producing a few more of the red science compared to the green science. But anyway, let's try it now. Let's look at this. Give me the rate calculator. Let's drag across there. And it says 60 a minute for each of those. So now I have a science build that's doing 60 a minute for red, 60 a minute for green. That's normally what I shoot for when I'm designing a science build, especially, well, if it's the first time I'm using the science build. So the first time I build science in a game, I'm shooting for 1 per second, 60 a minute. So that's what this gives me. Okay, now we're not done yet though, right? Because where do these things come from? Where does the belt come from? Where does the inserter come from? So what I do is exactly what I'm doing here. I start with the machines that make the science. I use the matter source to give it the stuff that it needs. I get the science running, make sure it's running at the rate that I want. And then I work backwards to try to figure out how to make these things. Well, on copper plate's pretty easy. That just comes from smelting, but you got to have a gear machine somewhere. And so where's the gear machine located? Maybe I want to flip these two around. Maybe I want a gear machine up here like that. Maybe you're going to make a gear. I don't know. You know, just you're designing it. Is one machine fast enough? What rate does it need to get iron plate? How many inserters do you need putting gears out there? You're not going to have those you're not going to have those type of electric poles in an early game. So let's do that. Move this up, Control X. I'm going to move this up a little bit higher here. In fact, I'm going to get rid of that because I don't want that anymore. I want to make this machine make those. So we need to get copper plate. Well, copper plate, we're going to assume that's coming from smelting. So let's do this. So there we need some smelted. Well, I'm going to make this a little bit higher. So if I wanted to do a screenshot, I don't want these things. I don't want these specialty items in the screenshot. So let's make this belt go a little bit higher like that. And then I can do a screenshot of this part down here, or screen capture, I guess. Edit out this part so you wouldn't see the specialty items. So let's do that. And this is going to be copper plate. So this is copper plate. Like that. Then I could, if I did not capture that as part of the, you know, like right there, you don't see the copper plate magically appearing. You just see this part down here. And then you need iron plate. We could do iron plate here, like this. You could give me an iron plate. And then you would have an inserter going there. Oops, an inserter going there. And power there. And you would have an inserter going there. Like that. Right now the stack size is 3. That's not what you have in the early game. So you might want to set that to what you have in the early game. So don't forget things like that when you're designing. If you're designing a blueprint, if you're designing an early game blueprint. Sorry, Factorio Cat was looking out the window. I thought a delivery had arrived. I don't see anything, Factorio Cat. Ow, ow, ow. I feel hooks in the shoulder though. I've got a new microphone ordered for these videos, so I'm waiting for my microphone to arrive. Are you running? Yes. So you don't need to do a lot of calculations with these mods. It's nice you can just build something and just let it run. And so now we know we're making gears fast enough because the gears are backing up. You know, that's a simple way to know that for sure. And then if you do the rate calculator and then drag across, you'll know if you're making those science packs fast enough, and I am. That's what I want. So their one gear machine is, and one inserter is fast enough. One inserter adding iron plate, one inserter removing gear. That's fast enough for that side. And then over here, you need the same thing. You need to build belt, you need to build an inserter, and put them onto there. You know, build your belt, build your inserter up here, and then put them onto the belt, and you can move things around however you need. That's what's really nice about the way the creative mod works is when you're building something, you can do Control X and drag across and very easily relocate something. like that. And if you don't want it there, just do Control X and drag it across and put it there. It instantly moves something. So very, very nice for creating blueprints. So that's what I use for creating blueprints. And this is the way I create them. I work backwards. What's the output? In this case, it's a science pack, but whatever it is, I start with the output first and then work backwards to build the rest of it. So for example, this is exactly the way I designed this blueprint. So let me go to my science blueprint and let's go to the same one I'm working on right here. And let's look at that. There's the actual blueprint. Oh, I gotta get connected to power over here. Okay, there's the actual blueprint that I designed. Now, this is designed for my standard base layout, and in my standard base, I have a pathway right here that I put. It's designed to be paved with stone brick or something. Let's see, what do I want to pave? Do I want to stone brick, here, right here. So give me the stone brick like this. It's designed to be paved. Oh, I didn't do that right. Didn't do that right at all. Give me another stone brick. I gotta hold down shift. There. It's designed for a stone brick to go. Stone brick pathway. Like that. That's what my blueprint is designed to do. And then it wants, this is copper plate here. So come here, copper plate. And this is iron plate over here. Come here, iron plate. Like that. There's copper plate, there's iron plate. And science packs come out there. Give me the matter void. Matter void. Like that. There's my early game science build, which I designed in this same setup. So you can see here's the science down here, and here's the things you need to build, right? The inserter, the belt. Here's to make an inserter, you need an electronic circuit, and to make an electronic circuit, you need copper cable. There's a lot of steps there, but because you can move things around instantly, you can easily do it. Now, what I typically do is build it. Doesn't matter how much room it occupies, right? So this is here, and this is here, and this is over here. So just get it running, and then it's easy to move things around. Just do Control X and move things around and make it more compact in the editor here, and then you make your blueprint, and then you can go on to the next one. It's easy to work with blueprints in here. You just select your blueprint, and when you paste it, it builds instantly. So that's what I use for designing blueprints. And then I will save, as I'm working on blueprints, I'll save this game, right? This one that I'm running. So let me show you. I'll load one here. Load game. And I use this just for creating blueprints. The creative mod for sure will disable achievements. So if you're working on achievements, don't do this in the normal game. You'll lose your achievements. If you create a separate game like I'm doing here, and then when you're finished working on the blueprints, completely exit, then go into the game you were playing, make sure that the creative mod does not get reloaded. And there's other mods like that will disable achievements. Make sure those do not get reloaded. So let me show you one of the places where I work on blueprints. It says experimenting blueprints. You see I got a bunch of them here. Let's see, where's a recent one? There, that looks recent. So here's where I've been working on blueprints, trying different things, sulfuric acid. There's one there's a different buildup there making sulfuric acid. And, here's the map. There's stuff all over the place that I've been working on, right? There's nuclear power. There's a train, unload all station up there. There's the array of roboports. There's a full base down there. So, and I have multiple of these maps, whatever you want to call them, where I'm experimenting on different things. And so I will experiment on something and then save that. And if I want to come back to it later and try something different, I'll come back to it later and try something different. Like here's the unload all station that I was working on. These are mirror images. One of them unloads the material to the right. See, the belts are going to the right, and the other one unloads the material to the left. Yeah, there's a refinery set up there, which, by the way, that's an old design. I have a newer design. Oh, let me show you the newer design. It's the one from this game, the game that this series that I'm recording. Did I save that? I saved it somewhere. It's in my copy of the game. Not that one. This one. So I'll show you this. I worked on this one, and this is from the actual game that we're playing in this series. Let's see. I gotta find some room here to put this down here so I can show you, or I can show you in the actual game. I suppose that's what I should do. That's what I'm gonna do, is show you this in the actual game. When I created this map, I left the trees in there, and they're always in the way, but you can get rid of them. Anyway, cannot build on water. Yeah, there's always something in the way. Cannot build on water. Really? No, where is it? There. So that's from this series. This is the oil refinery from this series that I made a blueprint of. Yeah, so when I made this particular map, I didn't turn all the water off. I forgot. Ow, 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 hooks in the shoulder. What did I need? I need some landfill. I have some landfill. There we go. Just hold on shift. Hold on, whatever you're holding, just hold on shift, and you have an infinite supply of it. So you can refill, you can landfill whatever you want. And then I forgot to turn trees off, but you just use the deconstruction planner, and stuff just instantly is deleted. Like that. Let's see, what else do I need to tell you about creating blueprints? Oh, so then when you create the blueprint, so let's say you wanted a blueprint of this marvelous refinery setup here. Just and this is where you might want the mod that lets you zoom out more than normal. That's this one up here, this plus minus. You just click the minus and you can zoom out more than normal. If you have a really big build, some of my nuclear builds might be too big, or certainly the rubble port grid is too big to normally see all of it. It's a little quirky, this one is, but you know, it works. So okay, so I want to make a blueprint of this. So Control C, hold down Shift, drag across the stuff that you want to be in the blueprint. You get that. Verify that it's what you want. Oh, I got an extra pipe. I don't want that pipe. Just right click, and it removes that pipe. Just, you know, verify that do you want those rubble ports in there or not? It's up to you. Oh, it reminds me, I want to talk about these red and green wires here. So I don't want those. Let's see, I don't want those as part of the blueprint. I'm right clicking on there. We're going to get rid of those. Like that. Maybe I want those up there. Okay, fine. Give it a name. Oil processing. Like that. Give it a description. And it's a good idea, I think, to put a version number in there. So come up with some scheme that you use for version numbering. I typically just use something like the date, you know, whatever you want to put in there for version number. It's up to you. And then give yourself credit for it, like that. And you can write a more descriptive description than that. And then what do you want for the icons? This is what shows up when you look at when you go to your blueprints. So if that's what you want, that's fine. If you want more in there than that, you can put more in there than that. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it, you know, it creates petroleum gas, it creates lubricant, it makes, I don't know, I'm just kind of guessing things here. It makes rocket fuel. I don't know, whatever you want. That's what the icon will look like now. And then say create blueprint. So I'm holding the blueprint. Now you can press B, and you can go to your blueprints in the game, and you can make a blueprint book, or you can put it in here for now. So there it is. It's saved in your blueprints. So if I left click on that, there it is. I got it again. And in the map editor here with the creative mod, it builds instantly. So click and it builds everything. Well, except for where I was standing, it couldn't build that. But just press Q, and then you can place it. If you want to delete it, oh, I don't want that there. I made a mistake. Just use your deconstruction planner, and it deletes it. And again, it doesn't have power, so you need to use your active energy source to give it power. And I'll do this, and I'll run an electric pole there, so the active energy source does not show up in screenshots, just to get it farther away from the thing. Oh, there's a fluid source. So like the matter source would not work here to test the refinery because the oil is a fluid, so you need a fluid source. So it's another one of them. Let's see if I can find it here. Fluid source. That you don't look like fluid source. This one. No, it's fluid void. Fluid source. This one. So there's fluid source, and you need some oil. You need oil. Let's do oil here. Is this oil? Which one of you is oil? You are oil right there. This one is oil right here. There's oil. And you click on it, and what is the source of fluid? Okay, it's oil. So now we have oil everywhere, like that. And you do the same thing for water, and then the refinery would actually run. You can do this. You can do the same thing we just did before. You can measure how fast you're creating rocket fuel, how fast you're creating solid fuel, whatever you want in your build. Make a blueprint of it. So that's what I use to create blueprints, to test blueprints. If I download a blueprint and I want to know what the production rate is, I just go into one of my saved editors that I've got and just paste it in there, and then use the rate calculator, and it tells me what the production rate is. Very easy to move things around. Like, oh, I want more room between, something that would be impossible to do in the regular game. I want more room in here. Okay, so just do Control X and just drag across whatever you want, like that, and just move it. Okay, so that, imagine doing that in the regular game, right? That'd be a lot of work to do that. And oh, I didn't want to do that. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Just Control Z a couple times, and it's back. So it's very, very handy for editing blueprints and production rates. Now I wanted to talk about these wires here. The red and green wires, the signal wires. The yellowish wire, that's the power wire. You get that always when you do electric poles, right? You put an electric pole, you get that's the power wire. But the red and green wires, those are there in my blueprints. You get a red wire, you get a green wire, and you put them on there like that. And those are for signals, logic signals. Now watch this. Well, I can't really demonstrate it because I'm in the editor. I'm in the cheaty editor mode, where you always have everything. But even if you don't have the cheaty editor mode running, you don't need red and green wires in your inventory. If you put them in the blueprint, when you put the blueprint down in a game, I can't show you this because it'll build it anyway. But in a regular game, if I remember, I'll show you in the regular game. When you put the blueprint down, you get the red and green wires for free. So even if you don't want them right now, it's probably a good idea to put them in there. And what they're used for is to send logical signals. Logical signals. What have we done so far? Where we did a logical. Oh, we did when I was inserting the robots into the RoboPort. I put a green wire from the RoboPort to the inserter. I had an inserter, and I had a machine where the robots were being built, and I put a green wire between the machine and the inserter, and the RoboPort, like that. And so this was making robots. like that. And I put a green wire there. Let's see, green wire, give me a green wire. Green wire, green wire, where's my green wire at? It's right here, isn't it? Yeah, right here. Do I have some already? I have some already. So you do that, and then you see the little animated, you see the artwork changes to show there's a green wire there. And then I said read robot statistics, and I did things like construction bots. So you're making construction bots, and how many construction bots do I want to put in there? And available construction bots is Z. And so I click there, and I said Z less than 200, I think is what I said in the game. Right? That green wire, that's what that's a signal wire. So you could send that same type of signal, like the signal that's being sent from the robot port to that inserter. You could send that same type of signal down that wire on those electric poles to do other things somewhere else in the game. And you get them for free if they're in the blueprint. When you put the blueprint down and build the blueprint, put the electric poles down, you automatically get, if they're in the blueprint, you automatically get the red and green signal wires for free. You don't need them in your inventory at all. So I will put those. So if you look at my blueprint for RoboPort column, they're in there. Let's see, where is that RoboPort column? Should be here. RoboPort here, right here, RoboPort column. So 2 RoboPorts. I'll get away from the others. 2 RoboPorts, as far apart as possible, so that they are still connected. The logistic part of the RoboPorts are connected, and with electric poles. And notice there's a red and green wire. They're all like that. See, because you get them for free. So why not? So if I just grab this pole, if I just grab that pole and run over here, you don't get the red and green wire, right? You normally don't get those. You just get the power wire. If you want the red and green wire, they need to be in the blueprint, and you need to paste the blueprint down, and then you would get them. So that's what those are. I'm trying to think of anything else I can tell you. Well, I'll think of something later as we're playing this series, as we're doing this more episodes of this series. So when I think of things, I'll show you, and maybe I'll drop back into this editor here and show you what I did when I was designing a particular blueprint or something. So I think that's all I wanted to tell you. Let's go back now to the game. I got some things I want to do in the map to make things run a little better and get more science going. I forgot to show you the landfill everything mod. So let's do like my RoboPort column blueprint. So 2 RoboPorts separated as far apart as possible so that the dashed line appears, and then we'll give them some power like this, and you kind of put this in the middle, and then I would put the signal wires between those, but I'm just demonstrating the landfill icon. And so then once you have your blueprint, you put the blueprint in your inventory, and then pick up the blueprint from your inventory, and then click on the landfill icon. And that will put landfill under every part of the blueprint. So now if I go over here to the water, now I've got creative mod again, because it'll build everything instantly. But in the game, you would hold down shift and click, and it would blueprint in the landfill. Here it's actually putting the landfill because of the creative mod, but it would blueprint the landfill. The bots will go out and fill in the landfill. You would grab the blueprint again and put it down on top of there, and then it would blueprint the items on top of the landfill. So that's the landfill everything mod. All my RoboPort blueprints have that. My rail book, all the rail icons, or all the rail blueprints rather, have landfill. You can see the landfill in the blueprint. Works the same way. It would blueprint the landfill, and then you would go back with the same blueprint and paste it down, and it would put the rail blueprint on top of there. So that's the landfill everything mod. Okay, I'm back in the base. That's how I do blueprints. And speaking of blueprints, I just used this oil refinery setup as the one we just saw and where I basically built on top of this. So let me have that blueprint that I saved. I hope I saved it. Yeah, it's this one. So let's get it to line up here like that. And when it lines up, the part that lines up turns blue. So if you notice, for example, these storage tanks where my character is, they will be part of this new blueprint, and they will be blue when it lines up. And anything that's green, the chemical plants right in there, and then there's extra storage tanks on the end. They will not be blue. They will be green. And if there's something in the way, it won't let you left click and put the blueprint down. You can hold down shift and force it to put down the portion of the blueprint that's not interfering with something. So I think I'll just left click and see what happens here. Yeah, so nothing was interfering. But if you hold shift, it will put down the part that's not interfering. You'll need to figure out where the interference was. And are you all in the build zone? Yes, you are all in the build zone. So I'll let the bots work on building that now. See, that's the way I like to do the plumbing, right? Just put the blueprint down and let the bots do it. So that'll take them a while to do that. I'm going to just verify one more time that this is all in the build area, and it is. Okay, good. Assuming I have all those things in the logistic chests where the bots can get to them. Oh wait, I need. Do I need to provide any additional fluid connections here? Because water's already connected. And oh wait, I do. Right, we need water up here. These are the chemical plants that do cracking. So these are cracking the light oil into petroleum gas, and these are using light oil to make solid fuel. Where do you get your water from? Okay, you get your water from here. Okay, you are water. You need to be water here. Okay, let's see if I have an offshore pump. Offshore pump, there we go. Oh, look at that, it even lines up. So there's water. Who else needs water? You already have water, right? Yes. I don't know if I'm making those pumps anywhere. They may not be in the mall. I should verify that. Who else? Anybody else need water? You have water. And you have water now. I just gave you water. Okay. I think I'm making those pumps. Can I see that in the map view? Let's see. They require an engine unit. Yes, right there they are. So there are pumps. Yeah, there's pumps in there. I use those pumps. You can use those pumps to pump fluids over long distances to keep the flow rate up. You can also use them as a valve to control the flow of fluids. You can put a logic wire on them, and then using logical signals you can turn the pump on and off. So they have multiple uses in that regard. Well, let's let the bots finish building that. This is making rocket fuel. Rocket fuel is going to go into that chest. That looks correct. Rocket fuel is used to launch the rocket to win the game. I also use it as fuel in the vehicles. It gives you faster acceleration. Oh, I was thinking about also where I put these chests. All of these require red and green circuits. So instead of going down here, I should belt the steel chests across here and make this the other place. Let's see, 1, 2. Okay, all of these here need to be reserved for the logic chests. So you're going to need circuits. You're going to need circuits. You make the steel chests. You're going to need circuits here. And you need to get steel chests in there. You need to get steel chests there and steel chests. Oh, you can get steel chests already because it's direct insertion, so you need steel chests up there. How did I do that over here? Put them onto a belt. I put them... Okay, can I do the same thing I did there? Out of there, onto a belt, out of there, into there, and then, oh, I can't use an underground there because there already is an underground. I can go like this. Let's see, give me this belt here. We could do underground here, like that, and then I need to get these steel chests to where this can grab them. How about this? If I do a long-handed inserter here, like that, and then they can grab steel chests like that. Okay, so that will give me, you can grab steel chests here from that belt. In fact, you're running already, and you're running already. You can now grab steel chests from there, and you can grab circuits from there. I need 5 of these. There's 1, 2, 3. You are grabbing steel chests. That's 4. You are getting steel chests directly inserted. That's 5. Okay, so that's all. These machines are all of the logistic chests. Give me some constant combinators here so I can label these so I don't do anything else with them. So you are going to make, so those already have recipes in there. We know what those are. So this is going to be, you're going to make the other logistic chests. So we have that one. We have, let's make them in order. How's that? Can we make them in order? No, actually, they're not in order already. Okay, I'm not going to move those. So then I need green, I need the blue. Okay, so you can be green. And you can be blue chest over here. Doesn't really matter. Just so I have them all. Okay, green are buffer chest and blue are requester chests. And so when I get the research completed, that's where I'll build those. I just kind of reserve those so I don't use them for something else. Okay, that is correct, I think. At least I hope it is. Oh, so I was talking about the blueprint for the RoboPorts that had the logic wires in it. It's in my folder called Professor's Blueprints, and so RoboPort column, this one here. So I do not, well, maybe I do. Just going to verify. I don't have any of the green or red wire in my inventory. No, I do not. Okay. So if I had that blueprint, I'm just going to put this down here and I don't want the bots to build it. I'll put it up here by itself. I don't want to cheat. So here it is. And in the blueprint, there are the power wire you always get, right? But the blueprint also includes the green and red wire. I do not have green and red signal wire in my inventory anywhere. And so, but when I build these electric poles, you automatically get the green and red wire. So you might as well put them in your blueprint. I mean, you get them for free at that point. Just so whenever I make a blueprint, I put them in there. Whether you use them or not, might as well put them in the blueprint. So then what you can do is you can send logical signals across those wires, whatever you want. And we'll get into that more later. But you saw the example I used to control the inserter when I was putting robots in the RoboPort. That's the idea. You can control things, and you can send the signals across those red and green wires. The reason you would want 2 colors of wires is if you used one color everywhere, it would add the signals as soon as you connected to another. So if there was a signal on a green wire and you ran a separate green wire with a different signal to the same pole, it would add the signals on the green wires together. So you might not want that. So you've got two colors, and you can carry different signals on each color. That's why there's two. Okay, now I totally forgot what I was working on. I don't think I've got a lot of time with the looking at how to do blueprints and with the explanation I just made there. Okay, so then this, what are you missing? So when you put blueprints down and you see this triangle that's flashing, it means there's things missing. You go down here at the bottom of the screen, you see the same triangle. These are the items missing. If you hover over it, it will tell you what's missing, things that it needs to complete the construction. So there's 98 small electric poles, 32 lights, 2 constant combinators, and 1 buffer chest. That's what's missing. So if those are missing from the network, the bots can't grab those things. So apparently I did not put these small electric poles in the network. Am I not making those? I guess I'm not making those, am I? I'm not making those in the mall. Right. Okay, so let's give me an upgrade planner. And let's go right click. I'm going to upgrade from the small electric to the medium electric. And then give me that upgrade planner. And that would be over here. Or should I make the small electric? Yeah, it's going to look weird if I don't use small electric. I'm sorry. They're going to be different. I can't do that. What are you missing? What are you missing? You're missing lights. Oh, I didn't put those in the mall, did I? Let's see. You require iron plate, copper cable, and circuit. Do I have room to build those? Is there an empty machine somewhere? Empty machine, empty machine, empty machine. No. There's no empty machine. Do we have room down here? There's room down here. So you need circuits. Let's bring circuits here. And you can go across here. Like this. Oops, like this. Like that, like that. And we're making lights. You need a RoboPort down here. Okay. I need a little bit of landfill. I have a little bit of landfill. I need a little bit more landfill. Like that. We need some power. Let's get this lined up here. I'll do it like this. Like that. Okay, lights. And they are limited. Okay. Okay, I don't know if so these small electric poles need wood. I don't want to harvest wood. I could have bots harvest wood, I guess, but maybe I should Should I replace those with medium electric poles, or should I make those in the mall? Normally there's tons of wood, right? So that's not a problem, especially when I get the different, in fact, there's a chest with wood in it there. Especially when I get to the chests that can request, because then the bots can you can request wood. So where could I, wood and copper cable? Right there's copper cable, huh? Yeah, I could do that. So you would go there. Oh, that's too far down. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it sounds like there's a motorcycle race going on in front of my house. So this is, you are small electric pole. You need wood and copper cable. Okay, so copper cable can go there, and you can do that. And you need to be limited. You are limited, and you need some wood. So we'll give you a steel chest for now. And you need some power. And you need some wood. Do I have any? No, where did I see that wood? There was wood up here somewhere. There's some wood. And you can have some wood. And you can be limited. You are limited. Okay, there's... Oh, look, they're coming to grab electric poles. Small electric poles are being made. And lights are being made. Okay, good. And I've already reserved all of these for the different chests. Yes, I did. Okay. So I wanted to get that. I wanted to reserve that so I didn't build something else on top of that. And I wanted to show you the idea of being able to see what's missing down here with this icon, which I have done. Constant combinators, those are things I'm using in the blueprints to label, like these. I really, oh, not those, but anyway, wherever they are. I really don't care about, I don't want to build those. If I build those, they'll start placing them, and I really don't care if they place them there or not. I'm not using them for that purpose. I'm using them to label blueprints. So I don't really care if they build the constant combinator until I start using it for another purpose, but right now I don't care about it. So I think with the explanation of how to make blueprints and these explanations here, I'm probably out of time. Oh, and let's see, are you all finished building this now? Yeah, so there's my newly redesigned refinery. It's still missing. Is it still missing? No, I got, okay, the chemical plant's there. Are you... Right, so the only thing I have in the blueprint that's currently on the website that's not in here, I think on the blueprint that's on the website, is it has logic in there that prevents the petroleum gas tanks from getting filled completely. Let me see if I'm going to verify that. Bear with me here just a moment. Let's see. Is this the one? Yeah. This is the one that's currently on the website. So these 4 machines right here. There's a pump right there. This is the petroleum gas. This is where petroleum gas is in these tanks. And there's a pump there, and there's a logic wire. No, it's hard to see, but there's a logic wire that's going from that pump to these tanks. And it goes up here into these chemical plants. And I know it's, again, hard to see. It makes solid fuel from petroleum gas. Normally, you don't want to do that. Normally, the petroleum gas is the one you want to make sulfur and plastic. If for some reason you're doing something else, you're not using those items, but you're using a lot of rocket fuel or whatever. If the petroleum gas tanks fill up, the rest of the refinery will stop working. It will not keep creating heavy oil or light oil. So in the rare case where that happens, if the petroleum tanks fill up, there's logic here and a pump that starts sending petroleum gas to these chemical plants, which then start crafting solid fuel, just as a way to prevent these tanks from filling completely. That's all that's there for. Again, that's not the most efficient way to make solid fuel. I think the most efficient way is to use light oil, but that's why that's there. I do not have that logic in the one I'm working on. So I don't know if I need to add that or not. Maybe I should, but anyway, that's what that's there for. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click on that thumbs up button. I would appreciate it very much. Take care, have fun playing, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.